Good evening and welcome to this week's Corporate Roundup. Some interesting events that happened this week. Let's begin with the IT sector this time. And there are some concerns around the earnings guidance that's coming out. And this time it was TCS's turn. Leslie is with us and he's going to give us some details on that front. Hi, Leslie. So it seems that the earnings outlook, after all, is not going to be very positive or encouraging. So tell us a little bit more about what TCS is saying this time.
What you said is actually partly true because when India's largest IT services provider, TCS, says that the fourth quarter will be weak and that follows what the second largest IT services provider, that's Infosys, says also that the March quarter results will be weak, then it it appears like it's a matter of concern. But you should note that while Infosys said that its fiscal 2015 performance will also be weak, TCS did not say that. In fact, TCS said that it will beat the industry projections, which NASSCOM has projected that the sector will grow anywhere between 13 and 15%. So analysts are saying that this would amount to about 16 to 17% revenue growth for TCS. Remember that TCS does not provide guidance. So this is a positive statement. But what is interesting to observe in these two things is that fourth quarter typically is a seasonally weak quarter because it comes after the holiday season. That's the first point. And the second one is that Infosys, the woes of Infosys seem to be more company specific. If you notice that there has been a senior level exit, Chandrasekhar Kakal recently, who was on the board of Infosys BPO in the executive council, and had an impressive track record, but perhaps because of the sort of 9 or 10 exits that have happened in the past almost a year since Narayan Murthy has come in, and he had warned that many people, non-performers, would be going. So it's not that necessary that these senior level exits are non-performing, but perhaps many of these were also the management, senior executives that were looking out for CEO positions. So in a typical reorganization of any reorganization, there are bound to be any exits. Now, will it have any impact on Infosys, the results of Infosys? Perhaps yes, perhaps no. I think the verdict is anybody's guess at this point in time.
Sure, thanks, Leslie. So there you have it. The headlines do sound negative, but one must look at the details before concluding anything on that IT front. Now let's move to the steel sector, where Tata Steel has, is talking about operations in the second phase in its Orissa plant, and Ruchira Singh will give us more details on that. Hi, Ruchira. So what's happening there? Are they starting the second phase, or how is it going?
Well, Tata Steel's greenfield plant, the first in more than 100 years, is going to come up in the next fiscal year. It's going to start producing at the end of next fiscal year. So we spoke to the MD India and Southeast Asia, and he said that the second phase of this plant will start to get constructed after that. So that's an indicator that shows that even though we are in a year of a slowdown, companies do have growth plans very much in sight. Another thing that he said was that the next greenfield plant is also being eyed by Tata Steel, and that could be in either Chhattisgarh or Karnataka. So that is an indicator for this sector. This year, demand has grown by less than 1%, and still companies like Tata Steel and the others have expansions on their plate. They're working on it. So that's a very big pointer for this industry.
Thanks, Ruchira. So a lot of activity happening despite the growth slowdown in the economy. Lastly, moving to the retail segment. Now, the Trent and Tesco joint venture went quiet after the FIPB approval, but there has been some little bit of activity, and Zahra Khan is here to give us details. Hi, Zahra. So what's happening? Some noise there?
Yeah, thank you, Lisa, for having me. So today, finally, the Tata Tesco JV was confirmed, and Tesco, in a filing to the London Stock Exchange, said that they'll be entering into a JV, a 50-50 JV with Tata Trent, and they will be bringing in around roughly 85 million pounds, which is equal to around 85.7 crores of Indian rupees. And I just contacted Tata Trent, and they did not want to comment, obviously, but they should be bringing in an equal amount since it's a a 50-50 JV. And operations, they said there's no clarity as to when they will begin. And since the government allowed FDI in multi-brand retail, this is the first such development that has taken place, and an multinational retail operator is actually coming and, has shown positive signs. A lot of them are waiting till, the elections are done and there is a stable government that comes in. So we'll have to just wait and watch what happens. Thank you.
Thanks, Zahra. So some activity happening across sectors there. That's all from us from this edition. Do log on to livemint.com for more details. Thank you.